right, Shalom. I want to start by saying, call law, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles of Israel, aka the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and love to all the Akim. Continue to preach the truth and all truth and sincerity. All right, real quick. So a few topics I want to get into, various topics, but like it says EU digital wallet, Iran, and AI. Because, you know, and it's a slew of things going on right now in the world and America, so on and so forth. So, you got a bunch of prophecies coming to pass, taking place as we speak every day. Now, one of the what I want to get into, first article I'm getting into is from biometricupdate.com, and this goes into the thumbnail. It says EU wants its digital identity wallet accepted internationally. Now, what does the prophecy say as far as the mark of the beast goes? It says what he calls of all. Now, they're doing these things in steps, but you saying they're taking these steps, they're taking these big steps and rather quickly. All right. So I remember hearing about the EU digital wallet and all that shit a little ways back. You know what I'm saying? So like basically this is the plan. And most importantly, it's prophecy of Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. No other God, no other explanation as far as why these things are happening in the world. And now on new things, and like, which, it's also a thing trending right now, is we got the whole thing happening in LA with the whole 2,000 troops and National Guards being placed there on orders of the Trump administration. So these are all the things spoken of in the Bible as far as prophecy goes. That's upwards of the people. Now, I think they're involved in the ICE whole issue with the ICE and the deportations. All right, but anywho, so I'm gonna get to this real quick. So it said, yeah, EU wants its digital identity wallet accepted internationally. So it says the EU unveiled its international digital strategy, outlining an ambitious plan to strengthen its position in global digital affairs. Now that's the whole thing with this AI, all this automated shit. This is what all the countries are racing for. It says a part of this plan is supporting the development of trust services and digital identity solutions based on European Digital Identity (EUDI) wallet specifications. The bloc wants them at the core of an interoperable and scalable suite of digital building blocks and solutions of partners, countries, according to a joint communication published on Thursday. Now, this article is from June 6th. So that was that was Thursday. Yep. No, excuse me. That was Friday. The article came out Friday. So yeah. So it says at the core of the strategy is a concerted effort to scale the EU's legal infrastructure beyond its borders. Digital identity consultant At Sarv writes in a LinkedIn blog commenting on the plan. Trust services, electronic signatures, and digital identity wallets are presented not simply as technical solutions, but as legal arrangements. Read that again. It says, trust services, electronic signatures, and digital identity wallets are presented not simply as technical solutions, but as legal arrangements. So they're trying to make this basically make this law. All right? And it said geopolitical uncertainties have inspired calls in the EU for more technical sovereignty and boosting the continent's tech sector. In April, the European Commission unveiled the AI Continent Action Plan aimed at increasing tech competitiveness with China and the U.S. So all this is about the AI arms race. All this trade, it's right there. It's right there. And how much longer till they bring in the microchip as being the only form of payment? All right. It says the bloc has also seen calls for establishing a more defined digital public infrastructure framework called the Eurostack. The international digital strategy shows a similar logic. The strategy focuses on three core objectives: boosting EU tech competitiveness through economic cooperation. Through economic cooperation, promoting high-level security for the EU and its partners, and shaping global digital governance standards. Cooperation with third parties or third countries on cross-border usage of trust services is part of that plan. So you see that the tech competitiveness. So it said the EU's experience in developing open source digital identity wallets and secure and data protection compliant digital public infrastructure offers significant value beyond EU borders, says the document. So what? He calls it all. So he said they try to make this international. So it says, with Ukraine, Moldova, and the Western Balkans, the bloc will continue to prepare for their gradual integration with the EU DIY. So see that? All this war stuff, what is it really preparing? It's really preparing for the beast system. And remember, this is all wars are banking wars, right? So it says the collaboration with India, Egypt, Uruguay, and Brazil will focus on e-signatures and DPI interoperability. Finally, the EU's work with Japan, India, Singapore, Australia, New Zealand, and Malaysia will focus on promoting the EU model for what the fuck? Invoicing, whatever that means. It says another item on the list is promoting the European interoperability framework, which helps partner countries align, which helps partner countries align with EU standards and practices with the goal of cross-border digital integration according to the strategy. That's one article on the brand. See, you see that digital wallet. Now what is gradually they're going to lead up to? It's going to lead up to the mark of the beast. It's going to lead up to the Michael C. So let's get that. Let's get that real quick. And I got a couple more articles. Now this is the book of Revelation chapter 13. I'm gonna start at verse 16. It says, "And he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads." Verse 17, "And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name." So now to see it, which is gonna tie into all this AI, automated digital wallet, all this shit is all connected. So when they talk about this digital wallet stuff, they're gradually transitioning to where it's going to be no more cash, no more card, and ultimately you have to get something implanted in your skin to buy or sell, as the prophecy says. Because this is about prophecy. All right. Now this is how they bring in the cause. All right. Now this is the book of Revelation chapter 13 verse 14, and it reads, "And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live." Verse 15, it says, "And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image or of the beast should be killed." Now the system of Esau, those miracles, what he said to do the miracles, and those great wonders he mentions in verse 13 is all this AI shit, man. All this AI shit, all this automated shit, all this just crazy technology, bro. Their whole system, their whole structure of how they rule, it all represents the mark and the image of the like this AI shit. They're saying that the AI, the actual AI. I'm gonna bring out another article. They said that the actual AI will rival humans within the next 5 years. They're already saying that AI is in the next few years as well is going to wipe out half of all entry-level white-collar jobs. So all those tech jobs and other fields they mentioned as well. They can say it's going to wipe out all those entry-level jobs. So what does that mean for people that's going to college or that have gone to college? Because they talk about already the college graduates already are going to have trouble finding these work because they're all getting phased out. So what does that really say for the actual future? That's what people don't understand. That what does it say for the future of America and for the future of how this current system is and what people are accustomed to? That's why they're saying like, yo, this is about to be the new thing, and you have a lot of people that's not paying attention. Yeah, people talk about that's AI, but look about what they're doing on the governmental sense of the AI, not just the fly shit, not just the funny shit. They doing funny shit with all the AI, like making funny ass videos and so on and so forth. But check out what the governments are doing. Catch up what the world leaders are doing with this AI stuff. That's what we have to look out for. All right, and actually, now, we have, hold up. Oh, yeah. Shit. AI. Oops. Okay, yeah, it's some fortune. No. Okay, yeah. So this, all right, yeah, this is about 42. So this is from Fortune magazine, and it reads. It says top Google exec says AI will rival humans in just 5 years and predicts will colonize the galaxy in 2030. But he draws the line at robot nurses. But hold, check this out. Colonize the galaxies. That's the book of Jeremiah, the 31st chapter. That Jeremiah, the 34th chapter right there, where it talks about they shall seek, they're going to search out the heavens. Now they talk about they're going to colonize the galaxy by 2030. So the next 5, so a thing that has been declared basically infinite, they're talking about they're going to colonize it within the next 5 years. So yeah, it says top Google exec AI says AI will rival humans in just 5 years and predicts will colonize the galaxy in 2030, but he draws the line at robot nurses. So it says Google CEO Demis Hassabis predicted AI smarter than humans will help us colonize the galaxy in as soon as 5 years. But it won't be the job killer people fear it is. Rather, he said that the advanced models will usher in a new golden era, and others like Bill Gates and Mark Benioff agree that AI will radically change the world of work. But they're talking about these people, these other companies are talking about they're not hiring humans to do the jobs they once did. So all these college graduates, they talk about they're not going to have a job. So that's bullshit. And the scripture said that it should be the grinders shall cease. Because the grinders are few. So this is bullshit. But it also goes to show that these devils, the miracles and their wonders that they about to about to do. Because people are going to be in awe about this AI shit. Because remember, they're ramping it up every day. They're fucking with it. They're finagling with it. They're gonna make it a way of life to where it's gonna integrate with humans. We have to cohabitate with the machines. We're gonna have to cohabitate with the system, cohabitate with the AI. All right. So it says CEOs and the working class are very divided on how AI will shake up the world. Leaders tout the promise of an enhanced work life while employees question the future of their jobs. The CEO of Google's AI research lab, DeepMind, has a more abstract line of thinking: galaxy exploration and superhumans, and perhaps sooner than you may expect. Superhumans? That's not what you talking about? Spiritual powers? That's promised to the nation of Israel? Promised to the children of Jacob? See, these devils, how you talking about, right? You're talking about colonizing a galaxy with the means of one planet. If you think about going to, you don't know what's these, hypothetically speaking, what from the perspective they should be looking at is how you gonna take things from the earth and take it up there and colonize other things of the world. Yeah, you was able to colonize the earth, but the Lord said what the earth was given to you as you get the fatness of the earth. You're not gonna get the fatness of the galaxy. That wasn't part of the blessing, Esau. All right. So speaking of which, real quick, let me go into the word. Hold up. Colonize. So you have colonize, which goes back to the Latin colonists. It says tiller of the soil, farmer. It says to migrate and to settle in. to make another place into a national dependency without regard for settlement there. So that's what they did to the so-called Native American Indians, but they think they're going to be able to do that in a galaxy? Imagine that. These devils are going to be able to colonize the galaxy. When they talk about this infinite, it's billions of planets. They talk about a grain of sand is like a billion. I forget what the exact numbers is, but it's crazy. And they told they're going to do it in the next 5 years. So yeah, it says settle in. It says to make another place into a national dependency without regard for settlement there. So they don't even know what's up there. And matter of fact, and they haven't even sought out all the parts of the earth. They haven't even gone down to the depths of the sea. And they're talking about colonizing the galaxy within the next 5 years. And that go to show what? How they're Esau, and I also go to show how they're ruling. So hold on, let me give a quick scripture real quick. Let me go in the MFL, see what that see in the NLT. Whoa, skipped it. So this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, verse, I'm starting at verse 30, where should I start at? I'm going to start at verse 35. I'm going to read that in NLT. It says, this Jeremiah 31 and 35, it says, it is the Lord who provides the sun to light the day, and the moon and stars to light the night, and who stirs the sea into roaring waves. His name is the Lord of heaven's armies, YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, and this is what he says. So the Lord said he the one that provides the sun to light the day and the moon and stars to light the night. Now, what are these devils talking about not too long ago, or still talking about? They're talking about trying to block the sun or dim the sun or some shit. So you did dim the sun? Like, who the fuck do y'all think y'all are? Now, of course, they're going to have their little dumbass attempts, but the sun is always going to be there. All right? So, I'm going to read verse 36 in the King James and NLT. So it says, if those ordinances depart from before me, so it's about the sun, the moon, and the stars, it says, save the Lord, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever. Right? So you go into in the NLT of Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 36, it says, I am as likely to reject my people Israel. My people Israel was going to show the Lord has a chosen people. Reject my people Israel as I am to abolish the laws of nature. The laws of nature. Not Mother Nature, but YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI nature. The Lord said, it is I that created these ordinances, man. The sun, the moon, and the stars. All right? Verse 30, what's it read? Verse 37, it says, thus saith the Lord, YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, if heaven above can be measured, and the foundations of the earth searched out beneath, I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done, saith the Lord. So the Lord is saying, if heaven can be measured and the foundation of the earth searched out beneath. Now these devils have not gone down to the depths of the ocean, man. They have not got that, man. So as of right now, and as it will continue, these ordinances will not where it says these ordinances will not depart from him. So it says in the NLT of Jeremiah chapter 31 verse 37, it says, this is what the Lord says, just as heavens cannot be measured. So he's telling these motherfuckers, he's telling people that the heavens can be measured, all right? Just as the heavens cannot be measured and the foundations of the earth cannot be explored, because what these devils, they talk a good game, but they ain't really done shit. So all this time they've ruled, and all this time they had the technology, they've done a lot, but they haven't really scratched no surface, man. Literally, they haven't scratched the earth's surface, all right? Because they ain't going down there where Leviathan is. Leviathan is deep down there in the deep sea. And they haven't gone the deepest of the depths of the ocean, man. Nor have they gone to the highest depths of the heavens, man. And it said if it could be measured. Now these devils talk about it's like mad stuff up there and whatnot, but like you haven't even tapped all of the earth yet. And this devil and if the pride of these devils talk about how they're gonna colonize the galaxy, man. Colonize the galaxy. The pride and stupidity of a fucking Edomite, man. And anywho. And the foundation, it says, so I will not consider casting them away for the evil they have done. I, the Lord, have spoken. So what? The Lord is never going to cast away the seed of Israel and the children of Israel from being his chosen nation, man. And as of right now, he's restoring the children of Israel, starting with the elect, starting with the prophets of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI that's been going here on the highways and byways for years, prophesying the downfall of this place, the uplifting of our people, the judgment, the judgments coming to the earth, man. And what the Lord's name is, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. That's now what is happening now. The Lord is now restoring Israel. And now he's destroying Esau's kingdom. That's why you have all this chaos happening throughout the whole earth, especially over here in the daughter of Babylon. Just like what's going on in over there in LA right now. Now you got Trump. He just sent 2,000 troops over there to LA for those quote unquote riots. History repeats itself again. LA riots one more time. All right. Okay, so let me go back to that article. So it says if everything goes, so these devils talk about colonizing the galaxy and how AI going to rival humans. From Fortune magazine, it says if everything goes well, then we should be in the era of radical abundance, a kind of golden era. Chief Executive Demis Hassabis told Wire in a recent interview. The AI leader said artificial general intelligence, AGI, algorithms that are just as smart as humans will be driving the force of this revolution. He said the $600 million giant is dead on track to possibly create that technology in the next 5 to 10 years. Now, we all know time is flying like a motherfucker. Look how fast it went from 2020 to 2025. It says, while AI agents, chatbots, and copilots are already outperforming human workers, so they're already saying that they're outperforming human workers, it begs the question of whether advanced AGI models will usher in a jobs Armageddon. A jobs Armageddon. Destruction of jobs. It says the DeepMind CEO hit back at that claim. What generally tends to happen is new jobs are created that utilize new tools or technologies and are actually better, he insisted. We'll have those incredible tools that supercharge our productivity and actually almost make us a little bit superhuman. No, you will never be no superhumans, man. First and foremost, AI ain't going to stop you from dying. AI does not grant immortality. It says if that all happens, then it should be an era of maximum human flourishing where we travel to the stars and colonize the galaxy. I think that will begin to happen in 2030. So they're saying within the next 5 years, they think they will travel to the stars and colonize the galaxy. It said the DeepMind CEO is dead set that advanced AI models will bring about a renaissance in human existence. The golden era is only 5 short years away. AGI can solve what I call root node problems in the world, curing terrible diseases, much healthier and longer lifespans, finding new energy sources, Hasabi said. So what does that sound like? They're trying to get immortality, man. Longer lifespans, that's what everybody wants to live longer. Nobody wants to die. But what? Who's promised immortality? The Israelites. From who? Yahawashi. Actually from Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. And these devils are here trying to attain it with their technology from the earth. Immortality doesn't come from the earth. Life and death doesn't come from the earth. It comes from the heavens, man. All right? On the earth, remember, the spirit leaves the body and goes to the spirit world. The body goes to the earth. So all the things that's why they talk about new energy sources, healthier and longer lifespans. It says, while the tech executive has rosy predictions for the future, others are already warning of the growing pains ahead. Dario Amadai, the CEO of AI company Anthropic, predicted that 50% of entry-level roles could be automated in half a decade, which could send unemployment rates soaring to between 10% and 20%. LinkedIn's chief economic, that's CEO, chief economic opportunity, officer or whatever, Hanish Raman said that technological disruption will first break the bottom rung of the career ladder. However, Hosby said he hasn't personally witnessed much outcry about an AI jobs takeover. Instead, he purported that these new tools will turbocharge human productivity. Take healthcare, for example. He added that rules will be aided by AI rather than replaced. There's a lot of things that we won't want to do with the machine, he said. You won't want a robot nurse. There's something about the human empathy aspect of that care that's particularly humanistic. See, now talking about these tech CEOs on what the future of work will look like in the AI world. All right. Now that's from the guy of Google. So it says other technology bigwigs agree that AI will change the future of work, but differ in the way they think it'll rewrite the rules. Billionaire Bill Snakes expects a utopian society where humans have all the grunt work off their plates, giving away to a shorter work week. What would jobs be like? Should we just work like 2 or 3 days a week? The Microsoft co-founder told Jimmy Fallon on a Tonight Show in March. So a couple months ago, this nigga was on the fucking Tonight Show talking about 2 to 3 day work weeks. It says, at this year's World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, Salesforce CEO Mark Benioff shared his predictions on the future of work, that he and many of the other leaders sitting in the room would be the last cohort of executives to helm all human workforces. Employees will soon rub shoulders with AI agents and robots, and executives need to know how to lead in that new reality. From this point forward, we will be managing not only human workers, but also digital workers, Benioff said during a panel at the event. So this is the AI takeover. And that's pretty much it. And, you know, like that's from Fortune magazine. And remember that he talked about a 5-year span. And also the guy talking about the entry-level jobs, he talking about a 5-year span, 5 to 10-year span. But every day they're advancing quicker, and they're putting all of their ducks, they're putting all of their chips into the AI. They're putting a lot of their financial investments into AI, which means what? This is part of the plan. This is what the elites want. And ultimately, this is what BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI has sought to happen, wrote to happen from the beginning, declared to happen from the beginning. Because the Lord said, well, he declared the end from the beginning. This devil's technology with all this AI and all the micro CIPs and all that is leading towards his end. Because the Lord said, well, once he does all of that, the war is going to pop off, nuclear war is going to happen, and then YAHAWASHI returns. And then what motherfuckers going to say then? And you got motherfuckers, they don't believe in being delivered, so they think they're just going to die. You know, you're not just going to die, man. The Lord said what? If you're left here in America and when YAHAWASHI returns and doesn't deliver you, that means you're going to burn in eternal hell. And not eternal hell like eternally burn, but it's going to feel like eternity. Because the Lord is going to lead a spirit in your body for however long he sees fit. And then you go back to the spirit world. And then you come back you come back through the lawns of the elect that were delivered and that did survive and that didn't receive the second death. That's what the whole thing of nuclear war, nuclear fire is ushering in the second death. The fire of the Lord's jealousy, the fire of his wrath, his indignation. That's what this is all leading up to. All right? Speaking of that, and with that being said, with that being said, okay, hold up. It says Iran. Fuck. Iran tests. Here we go. Here we go. Right here. So this is from the Jerusalem Post. It says, Iran carried out implosion tests for nuclear weapons development, IAEA reports. Now, I believe that's their thing. So it says a new IAEA report reveals Iran carried out undeclared nuclear tests, prompting calls to refer the case to the UN Security Council. Much of the IAEA report is based on evidence from the Mossad. So that's over there from the middle, from that region. Not these pussy ass, the U.S. media. And this is from June 8th, which is today. Check that out right there. Check that out right there. There you go. There you go. So it says, the recent Special International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, report on Iranian nuclear violations added many points. One being that Iran carried out multiple implosion tests, a key military skill necessary for developing an atomic bomb. Implosion tests do not have civilian nuclear uses. Notably, though much of the report refers to Iranian military activities from 20 years ago, Tehran's careful record-keeping means that any progress that the Islamic Republic made back then could be used to help with the more sudden, rapid push for a breakthrough to a nuclear weapon in 2025. The fact that it carried out various explosive tests also suggests that Iran is further along in other skills needed for developing a nuclear bomb besides just enriching uranium that many observers may have thought. This and multiple other findings are analyzed in detail in a position paper introduced this weekend by the Institute for Science and International Security, spearheaded by lead author and president David Albright. Much of the IAEA report is based on evidence from Assad. According to the think tank, the IAEA Board of Governors must refer Tehran's nuclear violation to the UN Security Council during its meeting, which opens on Monday and runs until June 13th, which Monday is tomorrow, until June 13th. It says all of this, which will be what, a few days from now. So it says all this is occurring as the Islamic Republic and the U.S. are the closest they have been to a new nuclear deal in years, but also not far from a possible collapse in the talks, which could lead to a small hat Amalekite strike on Iran's nuclear facilities. In a more detailed analysis of the IAEA report, the think tank said that the agency discloses its assessments that Iran tested neutron initiators produced at Levizan, Shian, and site-specific dates, but notably, it does not mention a location. Albright wrote that the IAEA report said instead that the EDNS explosive-driven neutron sources produced at Levizan, Shian were small-scale, designed for testing, and integrated into scale implosion systems. They were tested on at least 2 occasions on February 15th and July 3rd, 2003. It says next, the May 2025 report also stated anew that the IAEA found indications that equipment was developed and tested at Levizan, Shian that included neutron detectors and housings, and that an identical housing for neutron detectors was deployed in an explosive test at Maravan on April 15, 2003. 2003! I was still in high school at this time. So this is not just something that just started. So they've been testing these things before it made real news headlines and was talked about so much as it is now. All right? It says further, the IAEA report provided new information about the equipment and materials that were present at Veravim, saying this equipment contained all of the essential equipment for a uranium conversion facility, including small but heavily contaminated and possibly full of UF6 cylinders, uranium extractants such as tributol, phosphate, TBP, uranium extraction and conversion hardware, fluorine-based chemicals, hydrofluoric acid, and potassium difluoride, and radiation monitoring equipment. It says, moreover, the IAEA said that in sorting the material and equipment and placing it into containers, Iran categorized the items as either essential or non-essential. So this is what's up. This is what's happening. They're getting ready for this. They're assembling themselves for war. They're beating those plowshares into swords. And those modern day swords are what? Nuclear weapons, man. Nuclear missiles. It says this resulted in 5 containers being deemed essential and 8 containers being categorized as non-essential. The operators of Veravim also took into account the level of contamination with nuclear material, and that one of the containers considered essential was categorized as being the highest level of contamination, containing small UF6 cylinders and other specific materials according to Albright. It said the report also concludes that Levizan, Xi'an, Miravan, and Veriman, as well as other possible related locations, were part of an undeclared structured nuclear program. Nuclear program. Now, mind you, they talk about, what, this is 2003? It says it added that Iran retained nuclear material or related equipment from this program at Turzagabad from 2009 to 2018. The whereabouts of these resources is currently unknown. So what? They have a bunch of stuff unaccounted for as far as the Esau goes. That's why these small heads want to violate them so bad. But what? This is prophecy. What? And this what? This the Lord saying? What, yo? Prepare war. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. Hold up. So this is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 9. And it reads, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up, all the men of war. Proclaiming this among the Gentiles. The Iranians are Gentiles, those are Elamites. So they're a Gentile nation. And you read that in NLT, it says, Joel 3:9 in the NLT, say to the nations far and wide, get ready for war. Call out your best warriors. Let all your fighting men advance for the attack. And that's what they're doing right now. That's what Iran is doing right now. That's what Russia's doing right now. Hell, that's what America's doing right now. That's what China is doing right now. That's what North Korea is doing right now. That's what Japan is doing right now. That's what the Philippines, that's what the Africa, that's what everybody's doing right now. So what? That goes to so what? That the scriptures are true. That the word of YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI stands. And that YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI is the one true living God, and he stands alone. Verse 10 of Joel chapter 3, it says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I'm strong. And you read that in the NLT of Joel chapter 3, verse 10, it says, hammer your plowshares into swords. And that's what they're doing right now. With all these little nuclear tests, all these little implosion tests, the enriching of uranium, all of these things are what they're preparing and assembling themselves, and then hammering their plowshares. It says, hammer your plowshares into swords and your pruning hook into spears. Those spears are the modern day what? They're the modern day spears are the missiles. Because they're not going to shoot spears to and fro from one continent to another. They're going to shoot these missiles. These nuclear missiles, first and foremost, to be more specific. And all the other missiles they have. The hypersonic, ballistic, and the atomic, and all these bombs that all these countries have been had. And they're to continue to prepare more and more for that war, that great day. All right? Verse 11, it says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. And you read that in NLT, it says, come quickly, all you nations everywhere. Gather together in the valley, and now, O Lord, call out your warriors. Verse 12, it says, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. And you read that in the NLT of Joel chapter 3, verse 12, it says, let the nation be called to arms. Let them march to the valley of Jehoshaphat. There I, the Lord, will sit to pronounce judgment on them all. And what's happening in that valley of Jehoshaphat, that region of the world is what? Israel. Who talk about bombing? Who talk about attacking Iran? Israel. Amalek, the small hats. So that's the region. And who's at war right now? Amalek. And what the Lord said about Amalek? I will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. And by golly, that is in full effect right now. But the ultimate judgment is going to come for what? YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. And that's when YAHAWASHI cracks the sky and comes back to the earth. And then the heathen really going to understand what judgment is and who they really dealing with. And how they about to get fucked up. That's what they don't tell you in the churches. They don't tell you that when the Lord comes back, he's coming back to judge. He's coming back to destroy. They don't tell you that in the church because they want you to think some bullshit. But when the Lord comes back, it's going to be harsh. The Lord said the day of the Lord should be darkness, not light. A day of distress, trouble. Go back to the article real quick. It says the IAEA also discussed and connected these activities to the missing amount of uranium that was once present at Iran's Jabbar Ibn Hayyan Multi-Purpose Laboratory, JHL. Also, Albert wrote that for the first time, the IAEA revealed its assessment that the 4 sites and missing nuclear material in Iran are directly connected. Moreover, the think tank said that the report provided new information on the extent of Iranian attempts to sanitize locations of interest to the IAEA and provide false information when faced with questions. So the IAEA is the people that do the inspections, what have you. All right. So and a lot what they've been saying lately, that Iran has a lot of unknown things going on with their nuclear program. That makes it seem like they're building nuclear weapons, which they are, because why? The Lord is having them do it. Not Allah. Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI is having the Iranians build these nuclear weapons. Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI is having all these nations do what they're doing right now, including the Israelites, man. Everything that's happening on earth is the will and power of Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI and no other God, because there is no other God. It says, it stated that the provision of inaccurate and sometimes contradictory explanations seriously obstructed the IAEA's efforts. The Atomic Watchdog Agency said explicitly that although the matters on Levizan, Shion, and Marvan were no longer outstanding, this did not mean the issues were resolved. And it says, much of the IAEA report originated from evidence brought to it by the Mossad, which seized Iran's nuclear archives in 2018, which is the year that shit expired with that deal with America and Iran or what have you. That little Iran data from Obama from 2015 that expired in 2018. So for the last 7 years, they've been grinding getting their nuclear program ready. 7 years, as 7 is completion. So this is not going to stop. This ain't going to stop till these nuclear missiles and all these bombs, all these things that everybody talking about using, nuclear war, is going to happen. Because why? It's prophecy, and no one could go against prophecy. No one could go against the Lord, the Heavenly Father's prophecy. How can they? How can they when he controls everybody's mind? He controls everything. Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI literally controls everything that exists. Because he's what? The creator. And World War III, the third world coming quick, and the will of Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. So, with that, Lord willing, this is edifying. I'm going to give all praises to Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM Kakadash. Double honors to the powers of Israel, aka the powers of Great Millstone, and peace and love to all the Akim. Continue to preach the truth and all truth and sincerity. Shalom.